Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Friday, TGIF, June 14th, Flag Day. And a couple things. I haven't been on for a few days. Phillies. Well, they lost 203 in Boston, over the week. Uh, you know what? I'm not surprised. And here's why. Because they came out from England. And I would expect the boys are kind of tired. I mean, think about it. They went through 18 different time zones in a matter of what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And I don't know. I just think they're a little fatigued. Plus, don't forget, probably the worst guy they could have lost was JT Realmuto. I mean, I think despite the fact that Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, all those guys, great guys. Boom. I think the key player in this whole mix is JT. And the reason I say that is because not only does he exhibit great leadership on and off the field, he is a Darren Dalton type of guy. He not only will give you excellent defense, has that great arm where base stealers hate to steal on him. He handles the pitching staff. He knows what they like to throw. He gives you that extra bonus of being an offensive player too. Can bat him number two, and he's been thriving in the two slot. He just gives you so much, he has power. He can hit singles, doubles. He can run. It's a big loss. Plus, you got to remember the Philly. If there was one position that the Phillies are weak at, it's backup catching. I hate to say that because I love Garrett Stubbs like you all do. He's a goofy guy and he's fun, but he's not a good catcher. Let's be honest, okay? He is not. He's fine for what he does. He's a good backup catcher. He plays once or twice a week, great. He comes off the bench and pinch hits. It gives you a key hit, great. But he's not a regular catcher. If he was, he'd be catching in the big leagues for another team every day. It's that simple. He's not. He's not good defensively. He's got a good arm, but behind the plate, he's not as good, especially if you have to compare him to JT. We know that. He's not as good as JT. And that's the bottom line. I don't think he knows how to handle the pitching staff very well. I mean, look at last night. I think he got very frustrated with the umpires. I was too. That home plate umpire was awful last night. He was missing pitches for both sides. For Pivetta on the Red Sox and for Noah on the Phillies. I just think the frustration got to Garrett Stubbs and it snowballed. And then behind Stubbs, you have Rafael Marchand. Well, solid defensively, he had an arm, but again, he's no JT. Let's be honest. He's 25 years old now. It's hard to believe when he first came up to play a little bit there. He was only 21, 4 years ago. 25 now. And again, if he could play every day, he would be. There's such a demand in the major leagues for catching that I'm sure he would be playing somewhere else. This gets back to the point that I talked about a long time ago. I love Brandon. I forget his name. Brandon Marsh. What the hell? But I was very reluctant to give up Logan O'Hoppe. And the reason why was because, we talked about this before, but prospects, That's why the name prospect is attached to them. Prospect is someone who hasn't done it yet. They have potential to do it, but they haven't done it yet. And I think Logan O'Hoppe cruised through the minor leagues, big guy, strong arm, could hit. You just hate to give up a catcher like that, a young catcher like that, no matter what you get back from him. And they got a hell of a player back in Brandon Marsh. But is it easier to find a really good backup catcher, or is it easier to find a really good platoon outfielder? That's what Marsh is, right? I mean, to be honest, he plays practically every day, but the Phillies still platoon him. I mean, there's a left-handed pitcher. Most of the time, he's not playing. So that brings us back to it's tough. Everybody says the Phillies have a good depth in their minor leagues and catching department. Maybe so, down in the lower levels, single A, that those catchers aren't ready to come up and help right now. And this Phillies team needs help right now. Obviously, they've gone all in to try to win the World Series this year. They're never going to get off to the start that they have gotten off this year. They are, 10 games, 9 games now ahead of Atlanta. Do you really think they're going to be 10 or 9 games ahead of Atlanta down the road? I mean, maybe, we hope so. Hopefully, this is just the start of a dynasty, right? In the NL East. I mean, if the Braves could roll off, 7 or 8 straight National League East Division titles, why can't the Phillies, right? But my point is, the Phillies, if a guy like JT is down for a month, maybe longer, we need somebody who's going to be ready to step in there game one and do the job. And hopefully Stubbs and Marchand can hold down the fort. But it's concerning. So my point is that you could almost expect a little regression in the Phillies for the next month. Plus, add to the fact that you're going to start playing tougher teams. They're playing the Orioles this weekend. They've got the Dodgers on the horizon. The Yankees next month. JT getting hurt now hurts. He's going to be back before you get into the year. And as we said, the playoffs are the key thing. It's a good thing the Phillies have a cushion in the division. But I expect some regression. And this weekend down in Baltimore, I know there's going to be tons of Philly fans down there. I wish I was able to go down there. Thought I was going to be able to go down there Sunday for Father's Day. Great pitching matchup. Zach Wheeler against Corbin Burns on Father's Day in Baltimore. You can't ask for more than that. But can't go down Sunday. But it's going to be a hell of a series down in Baltimore. You've got a hot team in the Orioles, and they have revenge on their side because the Phillies beat them 2-3 last year up here in Philadelphia. It's going to be a really great series. And as one of the players said, Bryson Stone, he said, this is going to show us where we are right now. I mean, we're in first place, still best record in baseball, great. But playing a team like the Orioles is really going to show the Phillies really where they are. And as I said before the season started on this program, I said, I think the Phillies will play the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series this year. So my feeling is, and I still believe this, that over the weekend, you're going to see a preview of the World Series. Yes, the Yankees are playing great ball. I think the Orioles will catch that. And if they don't win the division, I think the Orioles will make it there as a wild card team. Last year helped them. They got some experience in the playoffs. A lot of young players. More experience they get, the better off they are. So, to me, I just think Phillies Orioles in the World Series is still true. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens this weekend. A lot of good pitching matchups. We have Ranger going tonight for us. He's 10-1. They have Rodriguez going tomorrow. I believe he's 7-2. It's going to be great baseball in Maryland. So let's hope the boys can at least take 2 out of 3 and before coming home. As I said, though, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if the Phillies lost the series this weekend. Why? Because, again, we're on the road. They're playing a really good team in Baltimore. But don't forget this. It's the end of a long, long, long road trip. The Phillies, and I can't blame them, are dying to get home and sleep in their own beds. It's been a long time. I wouldn't be surprised. Not that the Phillies are going to mail it in this weekend. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's been a long road trip. And especially come Sunday, when they know, hey, we're going home, we're going to want to go. So let's see what happens, huh? I got to comment about this one other thing before we do our TV classic in a week. Joey Chestnut, remember that guy who is world champ at hot dog eating, Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Well, you probably heard that he is not going to be in the contest this year. Besides some kind of deal with this other Impossible Foods and promote them, and apparently it's in his contract that he can't sign with another company and still take part in the Nathan's hot dog contest. Don't ask me. So, but he doesn't seem too upset about it. So he's not going to be there. But he is going to be September the 2nd. He's going to be a one-on-one competition on Netflix against Kobayashi, the Japanese champion. It's like Godzilla versus King Kong or something. Kobayashi was this champion back in 2007 early, and he was the talk of the Eating Association. He retired because of, surprisingly, health issues. I mean, the guy eats 59 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and he's got health issues? Really? Anyway, but he retired, but he's coming back out of retirement, probably for this, what? And the fame and the glory. And he's gone head-to-head, one-on-one with Joey Chestnut. Now, they have met before. Chestnut beat him, and apparently Kobayashi beat him one time. So they've had some really good matches between each other. But it's been a while. I'm sure Kobayashi needs to get his colon and his intestines in order there, So it's going to be September 2nd on Netflix. My God. Guys, talk about pay TV. Yeah, it's sort of like the Ali Frazier #1, the first fight back in 72. When they went at it, everybody went to, of course, we didn't have streaming back then. What the hell did we do? We had to go to the Spectrum and watch it, the closed circuit. Pay whatever it was $49 or whatever you go and watch the Ali versus Frazier. So anyway, now 50 years later, we could enjoy the spectacle of these pigs shoving hot dogs into their mouths with the buns and just trying to out-pig each other. We could just sit on our couches and relax with a bowl of popcorn, and we could watch these other two guys gorge themselves. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. So, hey. All right, so I gotta put my glasses on for this. This is our weekly classic TV episode. This is gonna be a short one, though, so hang with me. Now, as usual, I'm gonna do the theme song. I don't think this has any words. If they did, I would probably scroll it anyway. So here's the theme song. Ready? See if you know. Da 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 Okay, enough of that. Yes, it's My Three Sons. Remember My Three Sons? Oh, Jesus. My Three Sons. You remember the opening credits where they just had the three guys, their shoes, their legs, the tapping, and the iconic three, 6 feet. My Three Sons, 12 seasons. Now, you know, I remember My Three Sons. I haven't watched it long, but I was really surprised to hear that My Three Sons had been on for 12 freaking years. Where did these people start from entertainment back in the day? I mean, what the hell? Well, it started, the first episode was on September 29th of 1960. Whoa. And it ended up on, wrapped things up on November 13th, 72. You know, the people were there. Tim Considine played the youngest son, Mike. He was eventually written out of the show. We're going to talk about that. Don Grady played Robbie, the next in line. Stanley Livingston and his real-life brother, Barry Livingston, played two of the other sons, Chip and Ernie, the little guy with the glasses. I always loved him. He was my favorite, to be honest. Tina Cole played Robbie's wife down the road there. Beverly Garland played Fred McMurray's new wife. And William Demarest played Uncle Charlie, the housekeeper. And you know the premise. Fred McMurray was the dad. He was like all these old time things, you know, like Robert Young and Father Knows Best, and Robert Reed and the Brady Bunch, and a lot of these old time dads, you know. Just easy going. It's Leave It to Beaver's guy there, Ward Weaver. He'd sit there in the lounge chair with a pipe, without his slippers on, a sweater, and it seemed like he would never go to work. He'd never do it. But he did. Steve Douglas, he was actually on the show, he was an aeronautic engineer, whatever the hell they do. But it must make a lot of money there, because you never saw him working. Once in a while, he would come in to the house with a suit and tie on, carrying a briefcase. But you never actually saw him. And the premise was how this widowed father was raising his 3 sons, his boys. And it started out with, well, he needed help. So it started out with Bub, William Frawley. Remember William Frawley? He was related to Steve Douglas. And Bub was agreed to come in, live in housekeeper, cook for the boys, take care of the boys, raise the boys. And William Frawley, you know, was Fred Mertz in I Love Lucy. Well, William Frawley was on the show for the first 5 seasons. And then his health got really bad in 1965, and Will Frawley passed away in 66. So they needed another guy to take over the role of Bub. So they got William Demarest, who was Bub's brother. Are you following me? And and Bub's brother came in, Uncle Charlie, this stern curmudgeon. There it is. But deep down inside, he had heart of gold, like they all do. And then he took over for the rest of the series. The series actually started on ABC. The first 5 series were on ABC, and they were all in black and white. And then when the series switched over to CBS, that's what TV shows did sometimes back in those days. They were on one network. You never see it anymore. They were on one network, and then they switch over to another network. For the last 7 seasons, My Three Sons was on CBS. And usually it was on Thursday nights around 8:30-ish. A total of 380 episodes. Wow. So, yeah, Bub was the boy's grandfather, just to make that clear. He was Fred McMurray's, Steve Douglas's father. So that's how he got into the picture. Yeah, so when it switched over to CBS, mid-60s, color was coming into our world. Like the Chicago's in color of my world. Anyway, we all thought that, whoa, what a big thing. Color, what the hell? Yeah, we'd see the wonderful world of Disney, Bonanza, everything was a color. We, the peons that we went crazy. Color, it's like going to the movies. Anyway, so we got all excited. We got all excited about My Three Sons being in color. You know, it did take much. So here's the deal. This oldest son, Mike, Tim Conson, he got written out of the script after a while. Because what? He wanted more money, right? It always happens. These whippersnappers, they think that they're cool. They think this series depends on me. It's going to be canceled if I'm not around. So give me more money and I'll stick around. No. They wrote Mike out of the story. They gave some flimsy excuse like Mike moved away with his new wife. And Mike, I don't know whether his family disowned him or he disowned the family. But when Robbie got married and when Steve got married again, Mike didn't even show up at the wedding. So, you know, we'll call him the black sheep of the family, okay? I don't know. Anyway. You know, here's how Ernie got into the picture. Ernie was adopted, which led to more storylines, you know? So Ernie was Chip's friend from school. And the Douglas family, they had kind souls. They were like Mother Teresa. They took people in. So they heard about Ernie being lost his parents and being fateful car accident or something. I don't know, I can't remember. But poor Ernie, in order to save him from going to an orphanage, they adopted him. And that led to more soon. So, you know, here's the old thing. We talked about this before. When a series is starting to struggle for ratings, and, you know, My Three Sons always had decent ratings. It wasn't ever number 1, or even, it never even made the top 10. But let's say, for instance, like the last season, it was a respectable number 19. That's not bad. considering there was like 60 shows, regular shows on every week. 19 wasn't bad. But, what they always did was, when the ratings started to slide a little bit, they would do what we call the Oliver effect. And you remember Oliver from the Brady Bunch? Nobody liked him, nobody wanted him. The producers decided to add a kid into the family to spice up ratings. In the Brady Bunch's situation, it did the exact opposite. Everyone hated him. We turned his friggin' show off. Anyway, that's what My Three Sons tried to do. They tried to spice up the ratings because after Steve Douglas got married, she had a daughter that she brought into the blended family whose name was Dodie. Dodie. And a cute little kid. And they had a lot of new stories. Yep. And then so the theme song. It was actually a hit song in Canada. Hello to all my Canadian friends out there. You probably don't even know this in the Great White North. Lawrence Welk, of all people. Yes, the Lawrence Welk. A one and the two. One that the bubble guy. He made a recording of I could play that and fall asleep. It actually made it to number 12 on the Billboard charts in Canada. It didn't do anything in the United States. Wonder why. But up there in Canada, my friends, they love the song. God knows what. The real address, and this was real, of the Douglas home was 837 Mill Street. And it was implied, like on the Munsters, that it was Los Angeles. It was the suburbs of Los Angeles. What else? Oh, this is crap, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Oh, Tim Considine. Oh, well, one of the reasons why he left the show was money. The root of all evil. But he also wanted to direct. You see? He wanted a piece of the pie. He knew that My Three Sons was this juggernaut of a show. And he wanted a piece. And they said, no, get out. We're not letting you direct. We're not letting you do. So that was all. Yeah, so what happened was Chip eventually got married too. It led to another wedding, which led to more storylines. So, like after a couple of years, they would marry somebody. Steve, Robbie, Chip, and that. Robbie left the show too. And Robbie left the show because he thought he was this cool songwriter. No, I'm serious, in real life. Robbie Godfrey, bless his heart, thought he was a songwriter and he was going to make a lot of money like the next John Denver's. And he left the show for a musical. Well, as you know, from all the hit records Don Brady had, that turned out to be a bust. So it wasn't a smart decision his part to make the show. Anyway, but before he left the show, he got married too. What else? They all get married. And he married a girl named Katie Cole, and they had triplets. Again, it goes with the theme. My Three Sons. And she had 3 boys. So actually, there was going to be a spinoff of My Three Sons, as if we didn't have enough. There was going to be a spinoff. They were going to spin off Robbie and Kate, moving to San Francisco to an apartment up there, getting the road housekeeper and stuff. It was Uncle Charlie. And that was the spinoff. And they would continue with the My Three Sons thing with the three little triplets. And they were going to call the show Robbie. I don't think I will watch that here. The show never made it to that good. Somebody at CBS had a little bit of friggin' common sense and said, "No, what the hell are we doing? Would we rather have the pilot of All in Family as the MASH, or would we rather show Robbie?" So that never came to be. Thank you. And My Three Sons was canceled in 1972 because I think they ran out of people to get married. That's all they do. Anyway, so that's the show. That's the best I could do. Anyway, no, you know what? My Three Sons was a good show. It was a good, clean family show. I don't even know where you'd find it. I don't know if you go on TV Land or whatever, whether they would have it. But it was a wholesome, clean show, and it was okay. Well, it wasn't my favorite, but it was okay. And, yeah, some of the guys are still around though. Don Grady died in 1967 from lung cancer, when he sold his Fred McMurray, of course. So Bob and Charlie and but Chip and Artie are still living. They're like the Beaver. The Beaver is still living. He's 76 years old. You know, I saw a picture of the Beaver. He actually doesn't look bad for his age. He looks pretty young. He still has the youthful face. And his mother is still living. His mother is like 96 years old. God bless her. And they showed the Beaver with his mom. How much wholesome can you ask? Yes. Anyway, Chip and Ernie are fine. They're still hanging around. So, and, yeah. So that's our show. I was going to say Three's Company. No. My Three Sons. Which needs to be believed. Why didn't they ever have a spin-off called My Three Daughters? Well, it's only fair. I'm just saying. All right, so everybody have a great weekend, and have a good Friday. And I'll see you soon. And go Phillies this week in Baltimore. Like I said, I'm not holding my breath, even though we have Ranger and Zach Wheeler going 2 out of the 3 games. I hope they take at least 2 of the 3. But the boys want to get home. Let them get home. Let them sleep in their own beds. And, we'll go from there. JT, Rio Muto, get well. You come back as soon as you can, okay? All right, everybody, take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Peace and love, everybody. Talk to you soon. Cheerio.